Is that accurate? It seems to me that the feminine actually delights in overwhelming their men once in a while.
I think it's a personal preference. so I would say I definitely love to make a man lose his mind. So it's like I do it as a practice that I'll dress up really beautifully, and my man laughs at me because he goes, "Oh, you're going to the grocery store, right?" Because I live out in the boondocks, and so I suddenly will get all dressed up really beautiful because I want to give my light, and I want to just make a man stop dead in his tracks. I call it geisha training. So it's sort of like I want a man to fall off his bike, right? But I want him to recover too. Yeah. So I want him to like go, whoa, and then just go, whew, you know, and then I want him to grab a hold of his center and pull himself back to center and come up to me and just say, "You look so beautiful today. It's so wonderful to see a woman who looks beautiful." I love to see that fall and that recovery. And that's very sexy to me.
That brings up a good question for single women who are looking for men. I see women utilize this technique all the time. I'm going to cloak myself in absolute walls, and when I find, the man who's, perfect for me, then I'll open. And the man who's perfect for her never sees her. He just doesn't. He walks right by her because she's a wall. Why would the present magic man who can open her, why would he be interested in the wall, in the burqa, in the nothingness?
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, in order for you to find someone in the darkness, your light has to be on, right? You can't be like hiding behind a plant in the dark. So, your light certainly has to be on. You have to be shining. You have to be radiant. Your energy you have to be available. And I totally get why women don't do that, because, they make this light available, and of course you draw in things that you don't want. And, there's a number of things you can do with that. You can become very skilled at navigating that as well. But what happens is, you attract something you don't want and you immediately collapse and shut down. So, one thing that we've talked to women about is, okay, well, what if you stay open? What happens then? And what I've discovered happens is the more you stay open, pretty soon, the men who you don't prefer stop coming up to you.
Because there's almost a repulsion. You're too open. It intimidates them.
And there's an aspect of kind of a prey-predator mentality a little bit. That there's the minute someone who has kind of a predator mentality sees a flinch, sees a curl, they want to go for it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of like when a dog sees a cat running across the house. They run after it. They may love that cat. They may sleep with that cat every night, but it went running, so they're going to run after it. And to me, that flinch that we all get energetically, that's the prey. So instead of that flinch, there's this aspect of, okay, predator comes up, I don't close. And then all of a sudden, I'm not that thing that predator wants anymore. It can't eat me. It doesn't even know what to do with me. So it just goes away. So, it's can you stay open and not create that flinch around it? Now, conversely, there is something to be said about, being able to kind of shield yourself and mask yourself at certain aspects. But if what you're doing out in the world is looking for a partner, your light has to be on.
I agree. I think that, that whole place that the feminine, one of my teachers said a long time ago that people can only perceive about a half level above where they're at. So what that means is if you open and you're like 5 levels brighter than somebody else, they actually don't see you. You're actually invisible, which is the craziest thing. And so again, women have this fear, like if I'm open, I'm going to get all these yucky men. Well, at first, as you open, you're going to get all these lower level men because that you're just practicing. You're just barely opening, and you're only like within that half level. So you're going to see everybody that's on that level. But the more you practice your light and the brighter you make that light, the more you actually go invisible, which is really strange. And then only the men that are really conscious and are the ones that you really want are actually going to notice you, and they will have the courage to come up to that light because they know that they deserve that light and that they have done the work inside of themselves to really take that light and want to embrace that completely with their heart.
Well, ladies, we are out of time, so I'd like to thank you again for coming on my show. And once again, could you give us the dates of the next Elemental Feminine?
It is September 22nd and 23rd, 24th, if I remember correctly. I think it's up there, somewhere right there, 2016.
Well, you guys answered so many of my questions wonderfully.
Ask it
There was
again.
a deer in the headlight look right there.